Have you ever wondered why past relationships often impact your present and future ones? A question we've all pondered upon at some point, isn't it? Let's delve into this by considering the concept of emotional baggage. Now, this isn't about your last holiday trip or the suitcase sitting in your attic. Emotional baggage refers to the residual feelings, memories, or experiences that we carry around from our past. It's invisible, yet it weighs heavy on our hearts and minds. These remnants of our past, particularly those from relationships, can significantly impact our emotions and behaviors in future relationships. Imagine your heart as a suitcase. Each past relationship adds a piece of emotional luggage. The more luggage you carry, the heavier your heart becomes, and the harder it is to move forward. So how does this happen? To understand this, we need to turn to psychological theories. One such theory is the attachment theory, which suggests that our early relationships, especially with our parents, shape our expectations and behaviors in future relationships. It's like the first blueprint that guides us in our interactions with others. If these early relationships were secure and nurturing, we are more likely to form secure attachments in our future relationships. However, if these relationships were fraught with inconsistency, neglect, or abuse, we might struggle with forming secure attachments later in life. These early experiences don't just shape our behaviors, but also our expectations. We start expecting similar patterns in our future relationships. If we've been hurt before, we might anticipate hurt again. If we've been loved, we might expect love. These expectations, often unconscious, can lead us to act in ways that actually bring about the outcomes we anticipate. So it appears that the seeds of our past relationships often sprout in our present ones, don't they? But remember, understanding is the first step towards change. And as we journey further into this topic, we'll explore how we can unpack this emotional baggage, understand the science behind it, and learn to deal with it effectively. But what exactly is this emotional baggage we carry around? Emotional baggage is a metaphorical suitcase that we lug through life, packed with unresolved feelings, lingering attachments, or unmet needs from our past experiences. It's an accumulation of old hurts, traumas, and disappointments that we have not fully processed or released. It's the haunting echoes of past relationships, the residual sting of harsh words, or the lingering ache of unfulfilled dreams. Now let's imagine that each of these unresolved issues is a piece of clothing. Some of us have a small backpack, others have a piece of carry-on. A few might even be dragging around a full-sized suitcase bursting at the seams. Regardless of the size, this baggage is heavy, and it affects how we navigate our journey. There are different types of emotional baggage. Unresolved feelings, for instance, are like mismatched socks. You know, the ones we can't find a pair for, but we hang on to anyway, hoping that someday we'll find the other one. Then there's lingering attachment, which is like a favorite old shirt that no longer fits, but we can't bear to throw away. And unmet needs are like a winter coat in the middle of summer, completely out of place and utterly uncomfortable. But why is it important to understand this? Well, studies have shown that the weight of this emotional baggage can have a profound impact on our mental health and relationships. The heavier the baggage, the more it can influence our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. It can affect our self-esteem, our ability to trust others, and our capacity for intimacy. It can taint our perception of the world, making us see danger where there is none, or miss opportunities because we're too focused on protecting ourselves from potential harm. In essence, our emotional baggage can cast a shadow over our future, coloring our experiences in shades of the past. It's a part of us, yes, but it doesn't have to define us. Emotional baggage can be a heavy load to carry, influencing our actions and reactions in ways we might not even realize. Ever wondered how these past experiences cement themselves so firmly in our psyche? Well, it all comes down to the fascinating interplay of psychology and neuroscience. You see, every experience we undergo, especially those that evoke strong emotions, leaves an imprint on our brain. These imprints or memories are stored in neural pathways, which are essentially roads for information to travel across our brain. When we encounter negative experiences, They often create new neural pathways or strengthen existing ones. These pathways then become like well-trodden paths, making it easier for our brains to travel down them and evoke similar emotional responses in the future. This is why we might react strongly to certain triggers that remind us of past experiences, even if they're seemingly unrelated. But it's not just about the neural pathways. There's another layer to this known as emotional memory. This is a type of memory that specifically deals with emotions associated with certain events. It's not so much about remembering the exact details of an event, but rather the way it made us feel. Emotional memory is the reason why certain smells, sounds, or sights can suddenly make us feel happy, sad, angry, or anxious, even if we can't exactly recall why. In the context of relationships, emotional memory plays a significant role. If we've experienced hurt, betrayal, or disappointment in past relationships, these emotions become part of our emotional memory. They influence how we react in our current and future relationships, often subconsciously. We might become overly cautious, or perhaps too eager to please, all driven by the fear of experiencing the same negative emotions again. So the next time you find yourself reacting in a certain way in your relationship, take a moment to pause. Consider whether your reaction is based on the present situation, or if it's being influenced by the neural pathways and emotional memories created by your past experiences. Remember, our brains are wired to remember and learn from these emotional experiences, creating a blueprint for future relationships. How can we lighten the load of this emotional baggage? There's no one-size-fits-all answer to this, but certain strategies can guide us on this journey. The first step, often the hardest, is acknowledging our feelings. Emotional baggage is heavy because it's filled with unprocessed emotions. Acknowledging these feelings is like opening that suitcase and laying everything out. It's not about judging or analyzing, just accepting that these emotions exist. Remember, it's okay to feel what you're feeling. Sometimes, though, our baggage might be too heavy to unpack alone. In such cases, seeking professional help can be invaluable. Therapists, counselors, and psychologists are trained to help us navigate our emotional landscapes. They can provide tools and techniques to help us understand and process our emotions, making our baggage more manageable. Alongside this, cultivating self-awareness is crucial. This involves understanding our triggers, our reactions, and our patterns. It means recognizing when our emotional baggage is influencing our present actions and decisions. This heightened awareness can help us break free from the cycle of past influences, giving us control over our actions and reactions. Now let's talk about forgiveness, a key to releasing emotional baggage. Holding on to grudges or resentment is like carrying around extra weight. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting or condoning what happened. It's about letting go of the bitterness that's holding us back. And it's not just about forgiving others, but also forgiving ourselves. We all make mistakes, and self-forgiveness is often the hardest, yet the most liberating. Dealing with emotional baggage is not a quick fix. It's a journey of self-discovery, acceptance, and growth. But as we navigate this path, we gradually lighten the load we carry. We start to see our past not as a burden, but as part of our journey, shaping us into who we are today. As we shed the weight of our past, we can move forward with lighter hearts and healthier relationships. So, what have we learned about our emotional luggage? We've taken a journey through the intricacies of past relationships and the weight they can hold on us. We've learned that emotional baggage, while often seen in a negative light, is simply a natural byproduct of our experiences. It's not just a suitcase full of past hurts and disappointments, but also a treasure chest of lessons learned, personal growth and resilience. We've unpacked the concept of emotional baggage, dissected its components, and identified its influence on our current relationships. We've acknowledged that these remnants of our past, these echoes of old feelings, can silently seep into our present, subtly shaping our reactions and decisions. Moving on, we dived into the fascinating realm of science, exploring how our brains process emotions and store memories. We learned how our past experiences, particularly those charged with strong emotions, can wire our brains in certain ways, influencing our perception of the world and our reactions to it. And then, We discussed some strategies to effectively deal with emotional baggage. We talked about the importance of self-awareness, of recognizing and understanding our own emotional patterns. We delved into the power of forgiveness, not just of others, but also of ourselves. We emphasized the significance of open communication, of expressing our feelings, fears, and expectations to our partners. And we highlighted the value of professional help, of seeking therapy or counseling when things get tough. Understanding and dealing with emotional baggage is not an overnight journey. It's a continuous process, a lifelong exploration of the self, but it's a journey worth undertaking. Because by acknowledging and addressing our past, we can free ourselves from its chains. We can open ourselves to healthier, happier relationships. We can become better partners, better friends, better individuals. Remember, acknowledging your past is the first step to a healthier future. After all, we're all just humans learning to navigate the complex world of emotions and relationships.